Alright, here's the mastery portion of the guide. I created 4 pages, and these pages you can kind of tweak a little bit to your preference again, but they're just kind of general, what I would use and what Udyr is kind of more prone to. So this is first more of a utility based one, and the utility is really good because it gives you that movement speed, and I like that, and it gives you buff duration, stuff like that. So here's the health, defense against minions and monsters. That's pretty standard jungle. Mana regen important, movement speed, cooldown in summoner spells, lifesteal and spellband, so that helps sustain. Rune affinity, that's increase in buff duration, really important. And I like to get the biscuit for more sustain, and the explore ward to help ward. Warding is always important. You can't ward enough. Don't really know where I should put these kind of. You could put them in the health regen if you're going to think of doing more of a frozen heart build, or you could put them in more into here, but I put one up here and 2 in here and 1 here. So that gives me a little experience. It finishes off my movement speed and gives me that ward. And then cooldown reduction, and then I put another one up here somewhere. And then the movement speed increase. So while you're out of battle, that is 5% movement speed increase. That's pretty nice. This is the one I usually use. Let's start off over here. I get Summoner's Wrath because of the ghost movement increase speed. I like to focus on speed for Udyr, obviously. Little cooldown reduction, doesn't really matter, and then damage to minions. And I get this for the magic penetration, and that's because we use Phoenix Stance. Then standard defensive for the against jungle monsters. Reduce in crowd control, so you don't stop running around, because that's what Udyr does. And I like to put 2 points in here and 1 in here, because this is like just an all-around general good defensive thing for team fights. And I like to put 1 in here because that's reduce your critical strikes from your AD carries, and you're usually trying to crowd control your AD carry. And then finally the reduced damage by 3%. Alright, here's a third one, or second, whatever. I mean, I just have them. It doesn't matter. And so again, same thing with offensive, and then the standard 9 defensive, and then I put 12 in utility for the buff duration and sustain. You might be able to take these over here and maybe put them more in armor, or you could put them into a little more damage, or you could try to put them into the biscuit, one of them into biscuit, but whatever you want, but this is what I like. And then the last one is no defensive, and then a full utility, and that's again for the movement speed, the biscuits, the affinity, runic affinity for relic and quest and neutral monster buffs, and then the standard offensive phoenix, magic penetration, masteries. So those are 4, if I said 3 at first, whatever, 4 pages that I like to do. Again, tweak them to what you want, and I usually use this one for the tanky and damage, because I do have, my runes are movement speed, so I already got a little of that. I don't really need it always, but more movement speed is always fun. Right, runes. This is the rune page for the Phoenix, Udyr, Stance, whatever. Magic Pen, that's the main thing. Movement speed quins for any Udyr, in my opinion, because he's got to run fast. You could do maybe mana regen in here, but that's a little risky. I would prefer armor, so armor seals, magic resist glyphs. I have magic resist per level because I'm in the jungle, so I kind of doing that a little more late game magic resist for the team fights. You could try cooldown reduction, not really sure how that works, but magic resist is probably the safer route. And then for the marks is magic penetration. Magic penetration because you have Phoenix Stance and Wit's End as your main damage, and those both do magic damage, so that's where you get the magic penetration and Rune moves and masteries. Spells, you know, Smite and Ghost. That's what I like. You can do Smite and Flash or Smite and Exhaust, and you would still keep that Summoner's Wrath, because if you exhaust them and you attack them, they have reduced armor and magic resist, you deal more damage. But I would stay Smite and Ghost, but you could also do Smite and Exhaust, Smite and Flash. Maybe Smite and Telly if you want to like have a little more global presence, but that's pretty much it. Alright, as a Udyr jungle, you'll want to start blue because he spams abilities, and blue is extremely necessary for this type of thing. So I asked for a smiteless blue so I can smite red, pop one pot, and take Phoenix Stance for the AoE damage and for minion clearing. Then over to wolves, and so forth. After Phoenix, I would take Turtle Stance. This is because the shield and sustain are pretty important. You don't want to take too much damage. After wolves and wraiths, take red, and continually spamming your Phoenix Stance and Turtle Stance. And I killed the little minions first because I can level up to 3 if I killed them. So I got Bear Stance, just a little extra stun in there. And then Smite, because he didn't use it on blue. Since our summoner spells are Smite and Ghost, I was able to successfully gank mid. I use Ghost right there, and that makes me keep up with Gangplank. And so you want to make sure you move in between attacks where you think they'll be going. So he got a little juke off there, but I got the kill. It's pretty good. So I come top because Shen is beating by. Come around, make sure he doesn't see me as far. And then bear form in. Get the stun off. And then again, try to move in between attacks. You know. And then bear form again. Try to use bear form around every 6 seconds to get the stuns. We saw Shokz jump in, and we knew we could take him, so. I tried to gank Gangplank again, successful, but I had no mana, so I wasn't able to do any Phoenix Stances or other ones. So first main items are going to be the Spirit Stone and Boots and Mobility. Spirit Stone is for the damage and regens, and Boots and Mobility are important because Udyr has no jumping abilities or gap closers, so you need to have that 5 movement speed boots for your ganks. And since you have a pretty good amount of CC, you don't need to be too tanky right off the bat. Just be careful. Bai asked me to hold her lane for her because she wanted to go back and buy some items, so that's all I'm doing here. You need blue, you know, pretty much the first 2 or 3 times it's up. Yeah, let's just put it that way. I do come back to gank, and they don't help me at all whatsoever. Bot was totally loose, so I had to ghost out. So just be careful. If your teams aren't willing to be in trouble. I come top again. Shen has no wards, that's his mistake, but even if he did, since I'm so fast, he probably would be okay. Good combo here. She barely gets away because I get the stun off there, so he wasn't able to follow. And then for the kill. So your main item after your Boots and Mobility is the Spirit of the Ancient Golem. Yeah, that gives you health, cooldown reduction, regens, and tenacity. And you need that tenacity because you didn't get your Mercury treads, you got the 5 speed boots. So you need that tenacity for any crowd controls that the because that's what Udyr's worst enemy is. Crowd control. So yeah, I see that they were diving him, so I'm over here to kill. Ghost to catch up and spamming bear form, stun, and then move in between the attacks to show where he is, you know what I mean? Like, move where you think he's going to go in between your attacks so you get maximum movement to attack ratios. It's very important. Come down. I didn't smite blue because I knew I was going to be dragon. So he's walling over there to get this vision and just spam your abilities and smite it to the foot. Top is asking for help, so Shen will tower dive, boost, come up and help with the kill. And I give it to my ally because you want to try to give your lanes kills, which I didn't really do a good job of, because you know that build win lane is easier and games can be that important, but yeah, it's okay. Take kills, you can carry. Next main item is Wit's End. This is important because it is attack speed, and that's very good on Udyr. It helps proc more of his abilities, such as every third strike for Phoenix, healing from Turtle stance, and the extra attack damage from Tiger stance. And it also, look at it here, because we're going main Phoenix stance, you want to do this because it sucks out their magic resist. So it reduces their magic resist for every attack, so your Phoenix stance will do more damage in turn. And it gives you that magic resist. It steals it from them and gives you magic resist, so that's why I was able to one Shen here. So that's a very good item on him. So I kept spamming bear form, and I catch up to him. 5 speed boots help quite a bit. And go for the Shokz. Now it goes for Shokz, dog, and I get it because of the, I think I get it because of red. Keep spamming your abilities, my one death, but that's okay. Next main item you want to start working up to get is an Aegis. This is because it gives you health, magic resist, armor, and it's a support item. Since you're jungle and you're supposed to be kind of a support to all the lanes, you want to get Aegis because if you're communicating properly with your support, because it helps make your allies tanky and make you a lot tankier. Shen again is out of this dive. I get that last bear stun off to save Vi. I come top to help Vi, and I'm gonna just push down the tower she was losing. If you're ahead, counter jungling is always awesome. So I actually was able to get this because I smited it properly, so remember that's just important, and I was able to just ghost away. Ghost away in bear form. Got me out of the sticky situation. Team fight going on, so I come in bear form, and I probably should have focused a little better, but I went for support early, but I still got kills. Spamming my bear form, Phoenix form. Doing tons of damage. I was able to buy Bulwark, I think, at this stop. Yep. So Bulwark is just, you know, the upgraded Aegis, so that's what I got. Udyr's main tool in, I would say, team fights is his AoE damage from Phoenix form and his constant crowd controlling. So since I saw everyone mid, I came and started doing dragon. I just pulled it out a little bit so that they couldn't smite it over the wall. And so that you can run away easier if they come down to gank you. Stun off, and he was about to run away, so I get the last hit. And I think I would have stunned him again, so that would have cancelled his teleport, but whatevs. So next big main item is probably a Randuin's Omen or a Frozen Heart, whichever you prefer. I want Randuin's Omen for the health and the activate. I like that. So yeah, that should be your next big item, because you have two. Rune Bulwark does give armor, but it's more highly a magic resist item. It gives 55 magic resist compared to the 30 armor, so it's more of a magic resist item. And you have Wit's End, which is a magic resist item, so that's why we are going on armor, because I like to do a all around kind of build. You again want to make sure you're building against the enemies, but you know, this was just kind of a standard build. So it goes to catch up to this guy. Got feared a little there, but I just kept pushing it. Because I'm really continually doing AoE damage and stunning. That's what it does. We got a lot of cozy. We felt like diving, so we did. We had no mana, so that's why we couldn't jump out. And we're super tanky, so we give no fucks about that tower. Since I killed the last blue, I had the timer on it, and so you know, always take the buffs if you can. So I didn't have enough for my my Bulwark, my Randuin's Omen. So I got Haunting Guys, because it gives you health and gives you magic penetration, which is actually really good with this build because of his Phoenix stance. So that's just one item I wanted to get. I wanted to do a little more damage. And again, always try to move between your attacks. That's pretty important. So a team fight broke out. I was low, so I didn't want to go in too deep, but when I knew I was winning, I came back in and I got stun off and killed and continued following. So I just waited. I knew that they would get the kills. I thought of them when I saw Shen. I kept that up and go back in and help. So I got the stun off. He ignited me, so I ran away and I bear and turtle formed. So away. That was kind of glitchy on Gangplank's side of it. But even if he did Q me, I would have gotten away because of the shield. Alright, so I finished off on my Randuin's Omen. Put it on the 2 or 3 key, for me at least, so I can use its activate when appropriate. I saw the team fight, so I wanted to help out. Since I'm so tanky, I can crack one before them for a little help. So just keep fighting back and then activate the game stance for the AoE damage and stuns. So here I knew we were gonna win this battle, so I go in. I should have went back and healed for MF, but we were gonna go get all these kills and MF was terrible anyway. So I left Thresh because I knew that I was gonna get her at some point. Took a while, but that was a pretty good team fight. For team fight, I come and Ghost in and I go and focus the Navy carry. Then get the stuns and stuff, kill him. Then I usually clean up for the kill for Karthus. Keep spamming here. It's pretty much all Udyr does, spam. You just need to spam at the appropriate times. Again, MF is terrible. He doesn't even help me out here. He just stands there silently everywhere. Running away here. I was gonna just recall there, but I saw Shokz come. I was gonna die. And I saw Thresh. And then I saw Wammy, and I was like, alright, let's do this. So I'm not sure who to focus there, so that's why I ran away. And I saw Shokz pop up, so he was low, so I stunned him, and then I was able to kill him using the bubble. And I saw the Shen ult, so I ran away. But then my team came. It's just all about adjusting to the gameplay, guys. Adjusting to the gameplay. I recall my final item in this game is a Leandri's Torment. That's because they had a Shen, some pinky guys. And that does percent health damage, gives magic penetration, gives a little ability power, gives health. And I just want a little more offensive item for the kind of more of an AP Phoenix stance Udyr. It works out pretty good. So we just push down the tower. But they come around back, so focus. AP carry, annoying everybody, and I run away. Go for the gangplank because he's kind of the next carry. After that team fight, I knew the tower's pretty low, so I come down and I just tank it down. Takes a little while, but with the constant spam of turtle stance and shield kept me alive, and I had really fast attacks on my wit's end and my passive. Right, we're preparing for Baron. I'm fully upgraded in items. Could probably start at this point, switch out maybe Spirit of the Ancient Golem for Warmogs, something like that, but I bought the consumables first. So you just buy all your consumables and prepare for a Baron. Big team fight here, so stun and AoEs and everything. Our team is just kind of one hardcore there. Didn't really need me. Karthus AoE damage is too strong. And got the oracles so I can clear any wards at Baron, but that's not needed because I think they surrender at this point. So yeah, it was a pretty good game. I just want to make sure that you're pretty tanky with a small amount of offensive. Try to keep the stuns going, the AoE damage, at least for Phoenix stance. Udyr, 5 speed boots early on. I got Captain upgrade because since I'm already really fast, I want my allies to be able to run behind me extra fast too. You could probably get Fuhrer or Home Guard or I mean, it's whatever kind of preference you like there. And one trick to do that move attack thing is to use the A key. So what you do is um, you start off attacking the guy, and so in between attacks, right click where you think they're gonna go, so you move with them as they try to run away, and then you hit A and left click the ground anywhere, and that is the A key is just like if you ever played StarCraft, it's like the A move, you know, it's attack move. So that's a lot easier than trying to right click a specific target because that's just A left click anywhere. So that's sometimes faster if you're trying to do right click move and then A left click. It's kind of confusing, but if you try it, you'll probably understand. Thanks for watching. Again, the items and stuff will be before the video, and if you enjoyed it, subscribe and check out the other guides I'm working on, and if you want a guide in particular, ask me. And thanks for watching. Demigod IV.